Hello. How is everybody's Saturday going? It's actually lovely weather here. It was really kind of crummy this morning. Gone home, let's go! Yeah, hey Lou, hey Pyro. Yeah, I'm playing this game on your recommendation, Lou. It's been on my list. Like I've got a couple of games um, that are in my, stream games, um, of games that I'm potentially gonna play. And I was choosing between this one and the Spiritfarer demo. And I went with this one because this one I have the whole game. Spiritfarer I only have the demos. So like if I want to continue playing that, I'll have to like purchase the game and I have so many other games that I should play before I purchase anymore. So we're starting with this one. Day has been pretty good. Went to Erie's for lunch, packing for spending the weekend at their place. Weekend being Sunday and Monday. Hell yeah. I used to have that schedule. I used to have that Sunday, Monday schedule. And it's it sounds like awful, but it's actually not too bad because Monday, like everybody is doing is at work, but everything's usually open, so you can go and do errands. Like going grocery shopping at 2 p.m. on a Monday. It's pretty nice. Hope I have a grand time playing. Well, thank you. I hope I do too. I don't really know anything about this game. All I know is that it is like one of the first really like narrative indie titles. Like it was a very much a staple um in the genre, which relates to my question of the day. So if you feel like checking out question of the day, that's exclamation point Q. I should put that on a timer. I've been thinking about instead of like encouraging people to use the question of the day, I just like have it on a timer and then it'll just like show up and people can answer it if they want to. Um, but yeah, we're gonna start a new game. It has resume here because I was testing the audio levels, so hopefully audio levels are gonna be swell. Um, but we will see. This seems a little higher than I remember leaving it on. New game will overwrite the old game. Yeah, we went over this. That's fine. Arrow keys and look around with the mouse. Let's load in. But for games that are like revolutionary for the genre, there's so many games that were like huge staples when they came out and now they're kind of like they've grown beyond, like the genre has grown beyond them. So like one that comes to mind is like um Life is Strange was a very big staple.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so love you. See you soon. Bye.
Mark, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in. Gotta go, but hope I love the game. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I hope so. There's so many games that were a turning point for the industry. Pyro, would you mind getting a shout out for our good friend Mark here? And I'm gonna turn on subtitles because I thought those were on, but I was wrong. Controls. No, let's sound. Nope. Language. Display subtitles. Perfect. Thank you, Pyro. Appreciate it. I'm trying very hard not to have a rant on Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Is that like a good rant, like a happy rant, or a frustrated rant? Sekiro, yeah, I've been watching Mark play that a bit. It's like a game I don't totally understand. What's this? What's going on? Katie, I'm sorry I can't be there to see you, but it is impossible. Please, please don't go digging around trying to find out where I am. We have a goal. We now have a mission. Okay. I don't want anyone, Mom and Dad crossed out, to know. We'll see each other again someday. Don't be worried. I love you. Sam. Locked. Locked. And I did march around in this area a little bit when I was doing the sound checks. A very good and happy rant, but you could go on for hours about the influence they had on the gaming industry. Hell yeah, I love those kinds of rants. Don't feel the need to hold yourself back if you want to dive into it, because that's what I like to talk about, honestly. All right, so let's crouch. Do we have a run? Oh, we have a zoom. Okay, can we get in the window? Can we grab the cup? Press right mouse or left shift to examine an object. It's a cup. Can we throw it? Kinda. Can I throw it out the window? Not really. You honestly think you don't have time, fair enough. Ooh, thunder. Let me know how the volume is. If it's too loud, I can turn it down. This game was a little bit funny to adjust the levels for, but it also seems very dark, but I know it's like supposed to be dark, so I won't go messing with the brightness yet. Locked. Anything under the chair? Nope. There's a reason this E-mode exists. Hell yeah. I can't pick up the plot. Alright. I was about to ask where everyone hides their spare keys, but I probably shouldn't. That's not a good question to ask. Turn on lamp. Oh, light. Love the light. How about this plant? Not that plant. We can open this. Christmas duck. No, get on the table. I want to, can I just place it nicely? $5.99. Got the key. We solved our first puzzle. You have the best hiding place. You have no spares. Fair. I don't have a spare anymore. My last roommate was very forgetful, and so we had to put a spare out for them. But haven't needed to in a while. Oh. Yes. We're gonna turn on every light we can find. Is that another one? No, it's just a door. Invoice. Parents. Greenbrier. Good old Christmas duck. Boxes. Kitchen. Boxes. Television. Subtotal. $1,600. You guys, moving is expensive.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm at a new school, and my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real, but I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal, just like I was talking to you.
Okay. There is no light in this bathroom. Oh, there we go. There it is. Every single light in this house must be turned on. That is one of my goals. For folks who don't have spares, there are some cool products to hide keys outside, like fake rocks. My favorite are the ones that look like little lawn ornaments. Yeah, that is cute. I've seen a couple of those. I think that's supposed to be thunder, but it sounds way scarier. Read note. Sam, Daniel from the old neighborhood called. He wants to come see the new house. Call him back. Mom, Daniel is a total weirdo. The only reason I ever hung out with him in the first place is he had a Nintendo when we were little. Did you guys ever have friends like that? Like, someone that you hung out with because they had cool stuff, but you didn't really like the person all that much? I feel like everybody's gotta have known someone like that, like in school. Read itinerary. Fake rocks get very obvious looking after a short time outside. That's also true. Amsterdam. Well, we figured out where she went. Didn't take too long. At least potentially. I'm sure there's gonna be some kind of, I don't know why I like the picking up and dropping things action. It just feels so silly that I like it. That's why you prefer the ones that look like stoneware bunnies. Yeah.
Sam. Sam. Hello. Sam. Sam, where are you? Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Is that it? It's got upsetting real quick. Yeah, we only play sad games in this channel. Apparently. No, here, alright. All indie games are sad. That is actually. I'm joking, of course, but that seems to be the case. No one can call us. I haven't used a home phone. Like, I haven't had a house phone since I moved out of my parents' house. Aw. Look at us. Where's this go? Light switch. We have one of these light switches in my attic that's like this really old-timey button press light switch. Press 2 or M to check your location in the house. Oh, we got a map. Oh, we came from Amsterdam. Okay. Aw. We're so cute. Alright, so we went to the foyer, the bathroom, and now we're in this hallway. 2? There we go. Postcard. Hi, Mom, Dad, and Sam. I'm in Paris. I've done many Parisian things, including eating. I am not going to attempt it. And wearing a beret. I'm going to have lots of film to develop when I get back. Sam, I'm bringing you back something from Shakespeare Company since you are my favorite sister. I love you all, Katie. Le Petit Déjeuner? Something like that? I'm not sure what that is, though. Oh, the thunder is spooky. The thunder is spooky. Your parents' house has all button light switches like that. Oh, that's so interesting. Like, I'd never seen them before I moved into this apartment. It's like it's an older house. There we go. Deck of cards. Read obituary. Oscar Doc Mason. Died peacefully last month in his home. Dr. Mason was born September 8th, 1993. In the house that would be his home for the rest of his life. He attained a degree in pharmacy at a young age and returned to Boom County to practice. He quickly became a well-loved figure at the center of the community. In decades preceding his passing, he was seldom seen outside his home. Service will be held Sunday at the First Methodist Church at 1:00 p.m. All are welcome. His survivors include his nephew Terrence Greenbrier, as well as in spirit the people of the Boom County to whom provided wellness and comfort. Aw. I wonder if that's us or Sam. Houti déjeuner. Oh, thank you. I am bad at reading French. I like tried to learn French for like a minute using Duolingo and it went very poorly and I gave up. I ended up just like writing down the phrases that I needed for when I traveled to Paris and like I did my best. I made an attempt. Read note. Welcome, new student. We hope that you are as excited about your first day at Goodfellow High School as we are. Please be sure to bring the following with you on your first day of classes so that you can get right into the swing of things. Sturdy folder with pockets, 1-line notebook per period, at least 6 pens, 1 box of colored pencils. Please remember to get plenty of sleep the night before and be ready. Oh, whoops. Be ready.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you finished high school before we moved into this house. So, it's the first day of school, and there I am, introducing myself to the class. And I say that I just moved into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every kid in the room turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button. Because now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am. The Psycho House Girl. Great.
Crumpled up pages. John Russell opened his eyes and saw them, the stars, twinkling as if he were lying on the grass in his family's yard in Massachusetts. Even though that place was a million miles away, no, he blinked the sleep from his eyes, looking through the carbon-reinforced safety glasses of the space station Archimedes. Yes, he was a long way from home, but the future needed him. John Russell's head swam. He felt incredibly drunk, despite not having touched a drop in hours. He vomited onto his feet, his bare feet. He stared for a moment, processing his sick flecked toenails, scanning up from his bare shins, bare knees. He was completely naked. He looked up and met the eyes of a gorgeous blonde woman wearing a tight polymer fiber tunic. Then the fabric that strained at the seams to contain her generous bosom was embezzled with phrase matter transference operator. Then he passed out. As long as you're not shouting English at them, French people appreciate even an attempt. Yeah, of course. I would go and I would, ask as well as I could, like, if they spoke English in French. I would never, like, assume that they did, although most people spoke English, which was convenient. It was a very travel-friendly place. Also, Board, welcome in. I didn't notice you come in. So, welcome. Hello. John Russell had crossed the gap in time. Only messages had passed before, but now, man, they needed him. There's, like, little typos in here that are, like, totally intentional, but I keep getting tripped up on them. They needed him now more than ever. Changing the past was no longer good enough. The instructions from the council had been clear. What to procure, what to construct from it, and how to assemble it. So he made the machine, how to transport him bodily across time, and now he stood there on the bridge of the starship Archimedes, comma end of the vessel, because only he who had saved the president's life twice before could tell him the naive crew their destiny, the fate of the galaxy. Okay. Have I ever heard of Paris syndrome? I think it's where people expect Paris to be like such a it's such a romanticized place that people expect to go there and have everything be perfect and like wonderful, and then they get there and people are like, I didn't find anybody rude when I was there, but maybe a little short. I'm sure people interpret it as rude. And the city is like overall kind of dirty, so it's kind of like a shock. I think that's what the Paris syndrome is. But correct me if I'm wrong. They say jack of all trades is a master of none. I have to disagree. Mastery is not a question of specialization, but a sureness of purpose and dedication to craft. If you happen to be in the market of a combination of LD/CD player, you'll be glad to know that Pioneer seems to share this particular... Exactly that. Like, it breaks their brain. Yeah, I've heard that it's that syndrome, like, really strongly impacts... people who are raised in a Japanese culture, because in Japan they really strongly romanticize Paris specifically. It's like on the direct opposite side of the world. It's, yeah. I loved Paris. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous, like every part of it. I had no surprises in that sense. Although I did, like, step over dog poop, like, walking down the street in the middle of one of the most oh, this is, how do I get out of here? There we go. I don't know the code for that yet. Terrence Greenbrier. Just hanging out there with a camera looking for the tower, and they see a rat eating a croissant, and the reality just doesn't jive right anymore. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, man. But also, like, I did find the city to be one of the more, I don't want to say, like, one of the most beautiful places I've been, but it felt very warm and comforting when I was there. Like, there was, one evening in particular, I was just spent the whole day just walking the city. I probably walked 10 miles that day. And I ended up in this kind of like city square. It was like not very much traffic. It was kind of pedestrian only. And I sat down on a bench and there were people playing live music. And I just sat there and I just kind of like took it all in for like an hour. And just really enjoyed the environment. It was so lovely. I've been thinking about traveling again. I was looking at plane tickets for Japan today. I was like, maybe I can swing this. Hey, Orc, welcome in. I would love to travel. I miss it a lot. So let's see. Property, policy binder number. Are there any deficiencies that need correcting? Unclear. Wiring the house is technically up to safety and amperage requirements. However, multiple layers of wiring have been added into the structure over the last 100 years. The system is frequently unpredictable. Lights blink out for no clear reason. Pressure on floorboards and door frames disrupts circuits wired directly behind the surface. Properly reworking electrical systems would be highly destructive to the walls, floors, fixtures. Issues will not be addressed. Okay. Oh, I can turn on the fan. It's kind of noisy. I don't think we came in this way. I like that the door, this is like a nice subtle touch. The door was open, but it was half open. So I knew that I hadn't been there yet. That's a good touch. Lights. Also, every time that we enter a room, the light switch is directly next to the door that we came into. I mean, that makes sense, so then you don't have to, like, go across the room and click it, like, over here, but in a real house, that's more likely that the light switches are going to kind of be scattered a little bit more. Coaster. Magazine. They have so many books. How many books do y'all own? Out of curiosity, because I own like maybe 20. I don't own a ton of books. Gentlemen. Oh. Gosh, Dad. Wait, is that... Gosh, Dad, that's so funny. I was wondering if we could empty the box. A Stranger Under My Roof. The #1 best-selling advice book for parents of teens. Gentlemen, behold. Internet's being such ass right now. No worries. I know how that goes. No more, more than fits on your bookshelf. That seems to be pretty common, Pyro. I remember back like a year ago, Marie Kondo said that she only has like 15 or 20 books. And everyone went up in arms about how like Marie Kondo's coming for our books. But it was she in the full interview, she said that 20 books is like the right number for her, and more than that feels overwhelming, so she'll like replace them as she is reading them. 2 floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, and the kids each have bookshelves full. Yeah, I've got one cubby in my room that has like my active reading books, and then I've got a bookshelf in the other room that has like maybe two sizable shelves of books. Makes sense. You've been considering donating some. Yeah, I did a huge purge about a year ago. I just like went through and everything. Just if I was gonna read it again, I just got rid of it. I don't know. I'm trying not to keep things for sentimental reasons because I have so much that I keep for that reason. Dear Terrence, David asked me to write you regarding the reviews you've been submitting the last few months. Frankly, they are becoming more trouble than they're worth from an editing standpoint. There's a word limit. It's your job to stay under it, not mine to cut back to it. Even then, it's becoming harder and harder to weed out the tangents and non-sequentials from the usable copy without heavy rewrites. The readers of home theater aficionado want to hear about the quality and value of the hardware, not the ramifications of your childhood. If it were up to me, I wouldn't be writing this letter. I'd be cutting you loose. There's a ton of guys half your age who would take half your rate to write stuff I could actually use. But David's known you for a long time, and he's the boss. So I'm giving you one more shot on his say-so. You should write him a nice note thanking him for his patience and generosity. Look through your old stuff and start submitting reviews like that again. Then everybody will be happy. That's a scary letter to get from your boss. We used to have a used bookstore near us that takes trades for credit. That's the best. I love when places do that. There's a local Facebook group near me that's like, well, I shouldn't say it's near me. It's a local group that we don't know we need to find the code for this. But you can like post stuff for free. And it's amazing the things that people will take on this free site. It's like, you know, it's a Facebook page. But I'll put out a chair and post it and be shocked that it'll be gone in an hour. Let's try 1963. Nope. Alright, just double checking. Let's head back to the basics. Alright, well look. That's funny. If I'm standing too close to it, it won't open. I think we... Gimme! No. Alright, I guess we can't look at that. Who needs it? I love just, like, throwing stuff around. Erie's nesting partner's mom works at a local library, so that may be your first angle. Gotcha. I had no idea up until recently that you need, like, a degree to work at a library. I thought that... What's that? Oh. Okay. Stormwatch. This is starting to get kind of spooky. Like, I thought that the girl just, like, moved out, but everyone's missing. Read letter. Terry, hey man, how have you been? I know you're a published author and everything now, but my editor at Hi-Fi Aficionado has had too much review work to go around, and he's looking for another freelancer. Naturally, I thought of you. You were saying in your cast letter how much of a pain it's been trying to find a publisher for your latest work of Light Rapture. And writing stereo reviews is dead simple. Sit at home with a glass of scotch, listen to some records, and write up how it sounds. And then get paid. Hey! Sky, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Is it Sky or Box? Let me know if I am saying it wrong. Leaving a lurk? Hell yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you. Sky. Okay. Cool. I've included some issues of the mag to use as examples. If you're interested, send some samples to my editor and tell him your old college chum Mike sent you. Here's the address. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen you over in other chats. So thanks for coming over. In Odin's chat specifically. I'm like having trouble like pulling information today. It's like, it's all floating in there and I just like can't quite grab it. You mod for Odin. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, you're a mod over there, right? But I wasn't sure if you were a mod. So I didn't want to say it. So thank you. Put back.
You know that feeling where the first moment you see someone, it's like they have a big gold star around them, and you have to get to know them? Well, there's this girl. I think she's a senior. She's usually dressed kind of punk, but sometimes I see her in this, like, army uniform, and she's always drawing in this notebook, looking so intense. I had no idea how I would ever, like, have an excuse to talk to her. Till I noticed she and her friends hang out and play Street Fighter at the 7-Eleven every day after school.
Always try to lurk when you see friends live. Hopefully you'll be able to join more actively some other time. Yeah, no worries. I'm just happy that people come in and lurk or chat or whatever. I'm just happy to see folks at all in any capacity. That was you the last couple days. It was real great when playing Trivia Murder Party on Thursday. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I try to always, like, whenever I'm not streaming, I try to lurk in, like, 3 or 4 different streams, and then I'm usually chatting in 1 or 2. X-Files. Oh, man. So, X-Files is one of those shows that I know people really like, and I can't... Oh, look, there's a little fort. I can't watch it because when I was a kid, when I was like 5, I was like really, really little, I watched an episode of it, and in this particular episode, a girl got like this huge slug creature that like attached to her spine, and like that's what the episode was about, and it scarred me. I had nightmares for weeks about this episode, it still bothers me to this day, and so I like never went back to the show, and I just like refused to watch it. Songbird, hello, welcome in. How are you doing today? pretty well. How am I? I'm doing pretty good. This game has been on my list for a really long time. Like, I knew that it was a really popular game that was like a staple for indies and narrative games. Oh, read story. The Heaven at the Edge of the World, Samantha Greenbrier, Grade 2, Story, The Turtle People, Part 1. Captain Allegra looked off at the ocean. It went on forever, or so it seemed. Someday she would find the edge and get to the paradise there. She heard a cannon fire. Boom! It was the black pirate ship. She yelled, "I thought we lost them at the Horse Island." The first mate said, "Looks like you thought too soon." The black ship came up along the side. Captain Black himself came out on the deck of the black ship. He yelled to Captain Allegra, "You're never gonna find the edge. There ain't no paradise, and your father were a liar." Captain Allegra yelled back, "Then why do you keep following us, you imbecile?" The first mate yelled out, "We won't stop you. Captain Black will find the edge of the world. You'll see her father was no liar." The battle kept going until Captain Allegra's ship got away. "Now west," she said, and the ship sailed towards the sunset. That's cute. Don't play TF2. I also do not play TF2. That's another one that slipped by me. Read letter. We've read this one. I'm trying to be thorough, but I also know that we're gonna miss some stuff. And I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for there to be something behind one of these pictures on the wall. I've gone down this way. This is a large house. What's the map? 2? Dad's office and the library. Salmon Pamphlet National Forest. Pacific Northwest Conservation Department. There's a brand of makeup that I like that just released a palette based on the national parks, and I want it for the theme, but not the color, and I've like refused to purchase things based on the packaging. I need to keep that in mind always. It's really easy for me to fall for that kind of stuff. It's a bar? I want a bar in my house. Like, not even near the kitchen. Next to the library, there's a bar. Read letter. Dear Mr. Greenbrier, I write to inform you that, unfortunately, Mercury Books will be unable to publish your follow-ups to The Accidental Pariah. Despite the low sales of The Accidental Savior, we went ahead with publication of the second book in hopes of the John Russell series catching on. However, sales of the second book have in fact been lower than those of the first. So our stewardship of the series must end here. It has been a pleasure working with you working as your publisher, and we wish you, John Russell, the best in your future endeavors. Oh, gotcha. Username came from TF2, so Pyro made that. Gotcha, yeah. Pyro here does some amazing circus arts of fire spinning and crafting and a love of fire and its care. I'm sure, Pyro, you will explain your name way more eloquently than I can, but I'm gonna go give you a shout out really quick. There we go. I clicked on the bits and it's like, you can't redeem bits on your own channel. I'm like, what? Caps lock. Definitely go check out Friendly Pyro. I think everyone in chat is also a streamer. Everyone go follow each other. I'm trying to get better at, like, reminding people to follow each other in chat. I just assume that, like, everyone knows each other. That is not always true. Okay. This poor author. Just, like, totally slipping. Lost his job. Lost his book deals. Then he was doing reviews, and the reviews were bad. All these extra cases of books that didn't sell. That is a bummer. I know what that's like. Bunch of coupons. Read note. Katie, please tell Mom and Dad sorry about the stuff that's missing. Hi, Lonnie. So if you wanted to come over to my house still this afternoon, that would be cool. I can drive. It's kind of far, but I can drive you home too. So hopefully that's fine. Write back and leave this in my locker if you still want to, and we can meet up in the parking lot after 6. Samantha. Yeah, I'm totally in. See you there. I'm gonna kick your butt. Get ready. I like these little touches where, like, your is the wrong spelling of your when they're, like, writing for a kid.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too. At least I worked up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt kicked, I followed them outside while they smoked. And that was when she asked me if I was that psycho house girl. But then she said she's always really wanted to see the psycho house. Her name is Lonnie. She's coming over tomorrow.
Best laid plans added to backpack. We're gonna have to figure out this key. Orc, I love that emote. It's so... It's really charming. Cool, we have a new location goal. 2 basement. Okay, and we found something that's like, don't tell Mom and Dad in reference to the attic. This is turning into a very cute, very gay story. I mean, that's all I want. Heavens to Betsy. Oh no, there it goes. Who doesn't love Cammy and her thighs? You're using the Kappa emote, and I don't know why. I don't believe you're being sarcastic. What about this door? Did we look in this already? No, we did not. Directions to work. Just like to use it. I also like to use the Kappa emote. It's like, there just haven't really been any other, Janice. Any other good board game over the Alps, a novel traveling game. Wait, it's not traveling. Is that what? No. Yeah, traveling. I want to open it, but it won't let me. Did you see Chun-Li in Fortnite? They gave her more cake than a bakery. I haven't, but I know exactly what you mean by how you described it. Oh, okay. All right, I can... It's cursive. All right, here we go. Dear Sam, it's good to hear from you again. All this new house business around... is, you guys with me on this? All this new house business sounds like quite the adventure. Remember the little dorm room we shared freshman year when we were miserable fantasizing about our dream houses. I always paid and wanted a mansion. I always said I wanted a mansion. You said you just wanted a house in the woods. Look who got both. Someday somebody up there likes you. I could use some of that magic. Send me some lotto numbers, I'll play them. Seriously. But I shouldn't be complaining about this good old applet loved we've had since Bob got transferred to Winnipeg. I haven't read cursive in years, you guys. I can write it okay, but reading it is tough. We just got some new vinyl siding. Jealous yet? Let me know if you want to trade places. So how are the girls doing? Has Katie left yet on her big European adventure yet? Speaking of jealous, right back soon. Miss you, Rumi, Carol. Woo! You know, I will say, like, I've talked about this on stream a couple of times, but, like, having dyslexia and stuff and, like, reading having always been a daunting thing for me. It's locked. Who locks rooms in their own house? Reading has always been, like, a nervous kind of subject for me, but I'm getting a lot more comfortable with it, at least in a sense that I'm much more willing to do it now from streaming. I'm just kind of like, I'm getting used to it, and I think I'm getting better. But, you know, one day at a time. Controlled burn scheduled for Boone County. Janice Greenbrier leading it. It's fun that they highlight this. They're like, I know this just looks like a boring article, but like there's a part here that's important. Extra cake for them Fortnite kids. People with children and things they don't want to be messed with. Similar for you with social anxiety. Yeah, oh yeah, I can see that for sure. Streaming, like, it keeps you at, like, a safe distance, but also pushes you outside of your comfort zone, I think, in general. Exam form. Is there a light switch I can turn on first? Hell yeah. Notice of temporary personal transfer. Bruce Peddleton. To aid in the upcoming prescribed burn operation, a ranger with expertise in procedure is being transferred to the station at Flintlock National Forest, effective 9/2/94. Please see attached personnel file. The overseeing officer at Flintlock Forestry Station, senior conservationist Janice Greenbrier, is charged with the supervision of transferred personnel. The duration of transfer will be based upon performance evaluation as well as recommendation of the overseeing officer. What was that? What is this?
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like instantly just right.
It's a cassette.
I gave her the grand Psycho House tour and took my revenge on Super Nintendo. And it was like, I don't know, I finally found someone I feel normal around. I drove her home and she gave me this tape and said, "You have got to listen to this." I haven't stopped playing it since.
Remember how I said that one of our goals is to turn on every single light? The game's like, we know. To whom it may concern, I, Samantha Greenbrier, am 17 years old and therefore a independent, fully functional human being. The fact that you still forbid me from going into the city on my own is frankly absurd. compare with Kate, who's only 3 years older than me, and yet you allowed her to go all the way across an ocean to another continent on her own. I just want to spend an evening in a normal, totally safe city on my own, like a human being, and since you may also remember that I have my own car now, you can't really stop me. Warmest regards, your daughter, Samantha. Why would they put that up? That seems like a weird one to, like, put on a pegboard. And why are all the TVs on? I guess I should leave all the TVs on in my effort to have all the lights on. Just, like, turn on every powered thing in the house. Read brochure. Summer college program for young scholars. Sam, I think the creative writing track would be perfect for you. 3 students from each track will be offered a full scholarship for their first year at Reed. English creative writing. That's cool. I like the pirate flag. Electricity waster. Not in real life, but in this game, absolutely. I want to believe. Oh man, we got another locker here. Oh shit! Do you guys, is this a audio stereogram? I don't know if I can do it with it being this small on the screen. I'm gonna leave it up for a second. I'm gonna try. No, I think it's too small. If I was really to do this, I'd have to zoom it in. But I love these. I think these are so cool. This one's a little bigger. I can't figure this one out. It's like I can see some like start to pop out, but not enough that I think that that's the intended way to look at it. This one, I think this one just kind of shifts around a little bit. Scrutinize. I do like that it says that. And I saw this on the floor. I'm gonna get there. Read codes. Oh. Chun-Li moves. Orc, are you writing this down? Technically, you are using more real-life electricity by having your computer render than the lights being on. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Grab cassette. We found a cassette player. Didn't we? Or is this just a case? The cassette is bigger than the cassette case. Let's get near some light. There we go. Bratmobile. We'll go in there in a minute. Hi, Lonnie. I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to school. It's what all the cool kids are doing, I've decided. Right back. Also, here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a good idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages in their beepers. But we're cooler than them because guess what? They can't put this into a beeper. This isn't your first rodeo. You know these moves by heart. Which way are we going first? I haven't seen very much that looks like codes. This is 4 numbers also. I feel like the code is going to be, like, in here, and it's going to be a huge troll of the game. I know it's not, but, like, I feel like it could be. I really want to get this one, because this one I feel like is going to have a cool shape in it. I might have to pull it up on my phone. Usually when I look at these, I pull them up on my phone, and then I can hold it up really close to my face. That works. But, like, having it be on the monitor kind of far away is a little tough. Read chapter, King's Labyrinth. Captain Allegra, still in her flowing skirt and sturdy jerkin, descended the single shining thread into the lower cavern of the labyrinth. She and the first mate, on their own now, grew closer to their goal. The throne room of the dead, immortal king of the island. The first mate slid down the line onto the stone floor. She swept chalky bone dust from the front of her canvas trousers and looked up at Allegra. The silken thread, nigh breakable thanks to the enchanted moths that inhabited the island, trailed behind, leading their way back to the entrance. From further into the labyrinth, the moaning began to echo. The moaning grew louder and clearer, turned into words from some ancient language they could not understand. The king's cursed voice. The hairs on Captain Allegra's arms stood on the end. She looked back at the first mate, whose eyes remained locked onto the blackness of the passage for a moment too long before noticing the captain's gaze. The first mate nodded silently ahead. Whew. This just seems like a story. Okay. Following the king's ghostly song deeper and deeper into the labyrinth, they came upon a rocky gap spilling forth otherworldly blue light. The great basin of the dead king's throne room lay below. Skeletal in rotten robes, the king was hunched over the blue orb, topping his royal scepter. Shadows of his bony fingers danced on the walls like ghouls, and he sang, wailing. Souls flowed in one by one through the cracks in the cave walls, pulled into the orb, causing it to grow brighter and brighter behind the king. A long staircase, hewn from rock, led down into the chamber from a passage at the top. Allegra said, "We have the advantage in numbers. I will draw his attention. Then you." But the first mate interrupted. "No, I'm smaller and quicker, and you know of dealing with mystic energies like these. I will circle to the other side to get the king's attention and lead him on a merry chase." She held up the silk line, all traced by this invincible thread, of course. Allegra said, "It is a good plan, but perhaps we should go together?" The first mate shook her head. "You know, this is our best chance. Don't be afraid for me." They grasped hands and exchanged 3 tight squeezes, their palms growing warm. The first mate tied the shining thread to the belt of her trousers, gave a quick salute and a wink, and dashed off. Allegra waited, staring vigilantly across at the top of the stairs where the first mate was to appear. The king continued his "Wait, no, no!" The singing stopped. The king turned and began walking up the stairs. Allegra wanted to call out, to do anything to stop the first mate from running headfirst into danger. She tried tugging on the line to signal her. No use. The king was nearly at the top of the stairs when the first mate burst through the passageway. She skidded to a stop, even from across the yawning basin. Allegra could see that the first mate's eyes grow wide. She turned and ran. Summoning his undead power, the king left ground, levitating, gliding behind her with distressing speed. Some water, oh my gosh. Ooh. From the sank passage, much too far away, Allegra heard the first mate scream. She was already running towards the sound. In line, Allegra's hand went taut, then shuddered. It fell slack to the stone floor. As Allegra ran, she was gathering lines, twisting it around her arm. As she came to its end, the unbreakable thread dangled limply. Its end shredded and frayed in her hand. She tossed it to the ground and ran. Holy Bible. We did read this one. Steggy. Cute. It's weird how much young childhood stuff we're finding around when, like, we're definitely older now. So that was Sam's room, and now we're in this other hallway. Okay. Quick fix. Open. Guess this one's broken. Oh. Oh, what? Did this get, like, super spooky all of a sudden? We got blood stain?
Lonnie brought her hair dye over today.
Oh,
She
hair
said,
dye.
I need to fix these roots. Think you could help? Dyeing hair is weirdly intimate. I don't know if I've touched someone else's scalp before. That's pretty intimate, right? It felt intimate. We looked in the mirror together after, and I expected her to say something about how it looked crappy or good or whatever. But that's when she said, "You're so beautiful." And she was looking at me. Right in that moment, I wanted to say something, but I waited. And the moment was gone.
More Bibles. That was really cute. What is this? Business card? Mom's purse. I like how you can tell this is like a texture that's drawn on because of the edge. It looks super flat. When did this game come out? Does anyone know offhand? Because I know this is an old game, and, like, it performs, like, pretty damn well, considering how old it is. We are going through every single drawer in this house. Mitten. It's a good cat name. Mitten. Oh, love cat. Caitlin, age 5. Read letter. Alright, hold on. Overlay text. At least for this one. Okay. Dear Jan, oh honey, let me tell you, I understand how you feel. Bob and I have had our down periods. It's become a bit of a way of life, actually. You get used to each other. You live your own lives in the same house. The kids grew up. They go away. I'm sorry. This isn't helping, is it? Don't worry. Terry will get over whatever's distracting him. Things will go back to normal. And as for Sam being distant, that's a teenager for you. Nothing to worry about. In the meantime, though, this controlled burn sounds like quite the adventure, but let's cut to the chase. This new ranger they sent, that's what I want to hear about. Ranger Rick? You have to be kidding me. It's too perfect. You have to tell me everything. And send pictures. I want the whole package. Wait, that sounded wrong. Keep your chin up until Terry is out of his slump, and in the meantime, write more letters to your old friend Carol. She adores them. Alright, I prefer reading the original text because, like, they have a different font and, like, handwriting style for each person, but the cursive ones I'm gonna turn it on for because I don't know, I'm weak. Aw. Family. Oh! It, like, I wish I could put it back gently. Because it just feels so aggressive when I just throw it. But where is everybody? What's going on? We found that obituary, but I don't think that... Was that for the dad? I don't think it was. Game came out in 20XX. I'm gonna keep the stuff off that makes noise. God. Big ass bathroom. This bathroom is so big that it has like the separate bathroom area. The separate room for washing your hands. I saw this really cool picture where in Japan they have toilets where the sink is built into the top part of the toilet. So you then flush with the water that you've already used to wash your hands. It's so smart. It's so efficient. It's funny, I feel like I have to pick up pretty much everything just to make sure that it don't miss some dialogue. After the honeymoon, rediscovering your spouse. Personally, spiritually, sexually. Okay. So it's this way we haven't gone yet? Ooh. Is that the attic? It's gotta be, right? I'm starting to think that everyone died, and so we're coming in and we're, like, cleaning everything out. And that's, like, our purpose for being here. And Sam was like, I can't do it, I'm leaving. Hey, Sam, you were asking what my JROC ribbons meant? I know what that... That's fine, whatever. This means that the army and I thinks I can find my way around. Junior ROTC. Oh, okay. I was like, I know what this is, but I don't know what it is. Like, I've seen it before. Gotcha. Thank you, Pyro. Rifle team, the army has branded me as certified killing machine. I'm, Burn Adventures, No Borders can hold me. Army recognizes this. So if you didn't think I was cool before, now you do. Lonnie. Lonnie is like a friend, though, right? But I guess Lonnie's writing letters to us. We lived here. Lonnie is a friend. Sightings journal. A tall shadow in the upstairs hall. When I rounded the corner, no one was there. How tall was Uncle Oscar? Note, I was not wearing my glasses. A faint voice coming from the bottom of the stairs. I said hello, did not investigate. Probably was the furnace. Poured milk from carton in the fridge. It was spoiled. Pretty sure I read that spirits can sour milk. Milk was just bought yesterday. Also ghost milk. Reserve Officers Training Corps. Gotcha. Lonnie says she feels a presence in the TV room. I suddenly begin to feel cold. We built protective pillow fort. Ah, okay. Lonnie and I employ Ouija board as a medium. Disturbing messages are conveyed from the other side. Oscar is definitely here. Enlisted Lonnie to stay up all night and help patrol premises, recording any signs of otherworldly presence. Lonnie reported many sightings, but all remained unconfirmed. Possible ectoplasm in the attic, probably leaky roof. Sample taken just in case. Despite, probably due to leaking roof. Despite our best efforts, we both fell asleep around 4 a.m. All in all, successful night. I do want to check something really quick. I want to know what her birthday is. 73? Date of issue, date of birth. Yeah, December 7th of 1973. And it is now June 6th of 1995. Okay. I thought that we were a little further along in the timeline. So when was this? This was 2 years ago. Did I miss this? Katie, Mom and Dad were going to make up the guest room for you to stay over in the summer, but you came home on such short notice that we weren't around to do it. You can use my room if you want. I won't be needing it anymore. Free range, ethically sourced from willing ghosts. Sounds healthy. Some flowers. Performance evaluation. Exemplary on everything. Richard Pattermock. Ranger Pattermock has been indispensable during the course of the prescribed burn, preparation, execution. I believe his expertise and dedication has been the deciding factor in the success of a very complex and challenging conservation effort. In the opinion of the Flintlock Forest staff, Rick's contributions to daily operations have become essential to the outfit's continuing success. To this end, I will be formally submitting paperwork requesting his permanent reassignment to this facility. Signed, Janice Greenbrier. Ooh, it is a good thing that I didn't play this game last week because my voice would not be able to handle it. I'm like still struggling a little bit, like my throat is feeling a lot better than when I was sick. But goddamn.
Sometimes you just have to lie to Mom and Dad. Like when Lonnie asked me to see a band with her and stay over at her friend's place in the city after. That's a lie to Mom and Dad's situation. But it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome. And everybody was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Between two songs, Lonnie leaned over and said, "How do you like your first show?" I was so happy. I felt tears starting in my eyes. And then she up and hugged me. I think she could tell.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Pyro, I think you're right. Heavens to Betsy. Oh, flipped it up. Nothing can stop me. I didn't mean to put it on the ground. I wish I could do a split like that. Oh my god. That's like never gonna be in my possibilities, but... Lonnie, holy crap, I was in the library and I noticed something in the corner. I found a secret passage and it had Oscar's creepy stuff in it. Oh my god, I have to see this. We're skipping 6th. Mom and Dad's room. Okay. Secret passage. Also, like, this is a suspicious room right here. There's nothing there. We're gonna get in there. Open sewing table. Oh, fuck. I used to have one of these. I like the same machine and everything. Oh, I love this so much. These machines and, like, this table is so awesome because it's actually not shown correctly here. This is actually not how it actually would sit in this particular table. So this is actually rendered incorrectly. When they fold up like this, they sit inside the table so that the needle is flush with the surface. And it makes it so easy to sew on because you're just on the flat table. And you don't have to, like, go around the bottom of the machine, and it's so nice. This just brings me back a little bit. It also, instead of having a foot pedal on the floor, it's got a leg pedal on the side. So you press it with your knee to the side, and it makes the machine run. So it's just like, it's cool. I like the costume a lot. Got to set up for work in like 2 minutes. Yeah, no problem. Do your thing. Your wife sews. The hole at the bottom of the machine is a portal to hell when it tangles. Yes. The bobbin is a pain in the butt. Eventually, kind of like once you've figured out how to do the stuff. Oh, there's a tape recording player right there. Where was the cassette? Fuck. Gonna mute the tab and lurk. Have a great stream. Yeah, you too. Take it easy. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. I want to go back and find that cassette, but I don't totally remember where it is. Oh, we cannot jump. Is this Mom and Dad's room? It is. Okay. So we want to go into the closet, and there's a hidden passage in here somewhere. In this back wall? Whoa. We're gonna go in there, but not yet. Okay, we're gonna check that out. I want to find this cassette first before we leave this floor. And we haven't gone up into the attic yet either. I'm glad that they have a map too. I should have just kept the cassette and just carried it around with me. Here it is. I think it was around this way. Yeah. Then we go in here. Insert tape. We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're so cool, cool. We're so cool, yeah, yeah. Fuck you too, cool schmuck. Okay. I'd listen to more of it, but if it's actually gonna start playing music, then I probably won't. Because I bet it's entertaining, but I don't want to get muted. Open attic. Locked! Do not enter if the red lights are on. Let me in! Let me in! Let me in. Alright. Well, we were given a very direct path here. So let's do it. I feel like that, what is it? It's Eric Andre or whatever with the meme. Let me in! That's cool. Examine map. Ooh, look at all these little hidden passages that they're letting us find. Very cool. Hidden compartments found 3. Library, upstairs hall, and the foyer. Evidence of the supernatural discovered 0. The search continues. 2. Alright. Alright. Up a floor? Yeah, I told you. I told you there was a secret room there. Very cool. Oh my god, it's so dark. Is this it? Is there... Oh! Got it. If we just click on everything. So now we're in the library, and there's another secret room over here. Or a secret panel. Misfits.
At Todd's brother's place after the show, there was only a futon to sleep on, so Lonnie and I shared it. The lights went out. I was turned toward her. My eyes started to adjust, and then I could see she was looking at me, too. In the dark, she smiled. My heart was beating so fast. I rolled over. I felt so, I don't know, nervous? After a minute, she put her arm around me and was so close and whispered in my ear, "I really like you." I just nodded my head, and I really hope she could tell. I really hope that she meant what I think she did. I felt like a shook-up can of soda ever since. I hope we have the chance to talk before I explode.
Oh.
Read story private, do not read. The Green Glacier, Part 2. Heaven at the Edge of the World. 9th grade. Allegra and her scouting party peered down warily through the dense canopy of rustling leaves from their perch high in the forest branches mere feet away. Sunlight shone brightly off the inner ice walls of the glacial basin in which the forest grew. It was a strange sight indeed, such lustrous juxtaposed with the frigid ice formations. Allegra leapt forward without hesitation, bounding through the high branches. The first mate had been captured by Green Glacier's Amazonian tribe. His life hung in the balance. We have to hurry. Allegra's party followed behind, moving quietly as a breeze through the greenery. Allegra landed in the clearing and shouted, "Stop!" She saw Queen Amazonian up on her pedestal, reaching for the lever that would drop her first mate into the vat below. She shouted, "No!" and flung her saber at the Amazon's reaching hand. But it was too late. The first mate screamed as he fell toward the water and then splashed down. All was eerily silent. Allegra looked on, frozen in fear and remorse. She had been a moment too late. But then, from the vat, something began to emerge. A head of dark brown hair, just like first mate's. Then the shoulders and sleeves of his coat, soaking wet. But as the figure stood and the water poured down, Allegra saw that the first mate had changed. He was no longer a man at all. In fact, what looked back at her were the eyes, the face, the hair, and the hands, and the body of a woman. Still in the first mate's clothes, still the first mate. She spoke in a soft, clear voice. "Captain?" The Amazonian queen said, "She is one of us now. She is ours." Allegra drew her magical flintlock pistols from her belt, and the crew readied their swords. Allegra glared into the queen's eyes and said, "That's the love of my life, and you can't have her." I understand, Lou, why you liked this game so much. Property of Sam, private. Half of Sam's locker combo added to backpack. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Cool. That's sweet. Awesome. Alright, well, I am going to have a quick BRB. I have to use bio break, and I have to move some laundry over. I'll be 2 or 3 minutes. I won't be very long. Be right back. I'm back. Hello. I promised I wouldn't be too long. Alright. Where have we not been yet? Let's take a look. Been here, been here. I think we have to go back upstairs and get to this secret room. And then the attic door is still locked. Let's go up to the secret room on the top floor. Okay. We'll just go this way. I don't see a reason why not. Has anyone been watching E3 today? I tuned in a little bit and like saw some stuff that looked cute, but didn't really watch it. I just kind of glanced at it a couple times. So where is this? So we want to go up, right, and then it's one of these panels here. There we go. Just violently click all of them. The Ouija board. Goodbye. Hello? Hello! Who are you? Oscar. What do you want? To come back? Other, side of the locker combo. Alright. Let me open up our first locker combination. This was 051. We did it. Gosh, Sam. Confirmed. If we weren't sure yet, we have confirmed. Gosh, Sam. Cigarette pack? Key to the basement.
Lonnie came over today.
Oh, Lonnie.
Everything was different. She was sitting at my desk chair, and she wouldn't look at me. Finally, I asked her what was going on. She said she felt like she'd done something wrong that night in the city. Like I must think... But I said no. There was nothing wrong. I just wanted to say... But I couldn't find the words. I felt like I was gonna cry, but I wasn't sad. She got up and sat next to me on the bed. I looked at her. Lonnie, do you think you could ever... And that's when she kissed me.
This is so cute. As like I'm so torn. Like this game is sad. Like the atmosphere is depressing. There's rain outside. We've got like obituaries around. We've got Sam moving out unexpectedly. We've got Caitlin, our character, with crying voicemails on the phone. This is clearly like a sad game, but the story that we're being told is adorable. So it makes me worry that like that something bad is going to happen to Sam because of this relationship, and I'm getting nervous because there's such a contrast here. Also, I'm like waiting for the corridor that I have to like kind of crawl through, although it's very slow, so maybe not. That'd be rough. So basement is this way, right? Yeah, we got it. We unlocked our first door. Well, not really, but we unlocked a door. Oh god, it's so dark. Spam click. Oh, there we go. Sweet. We got a light switch. Do we have any other light switches around? Read note. Dear Samantha, I would like to cordially thank you for having me to your abode for Thanksgiving holiday with your lovely family. I enjoyed the flavorful potatoes, and also it was weird being around your parents for that long. But it was pretty funny how impossible it is for your dad not to be awkward for more than 30 seconds at a time. Very cordially yours, your close friend and confidant, Lonnie. So maybe the parents were aware and everything was cool. I don't know. Dear Miss DeSoto, allow me to take this opportunity to thank you in kind for being such a gracious host of the festivities at your father's estate following the aforementioned meal with my parents. Your family's Thanksgiving feast was the more enjoyable of the two events, I must say. I especially appreciated the time I spent with your grandmother, who is a lovely woman with a sterling taste, sterling taste and a refined air. Let's do it again sometime next year, shall we? Indeed. Madam Samantha Greenbrier-esque. Furnace. Got the fuses. Can I... Oh, I can't turn on this light. Can I flip it up? Read letter. Read college. Dear Samantha, congratulations! I am pleased to inform you of your admission to the creative writing track of Reed College Summer Program for Young Scholars for its 1995 session. We believe you have much to contribute to the Reed College community. Based on your portfolio and academic record, I am also pleased to offer you financial aid to cover 75% of the summer program's tuition and fees. The attached documentation delineates your schedule, optional secondary track courses, and your dormitory assignment. Please remember to submit the attached form if you wish to be eligible for one of the 3 Reed full-time undergraduate scholarships to be awarded to exemplary students at the end of each summer program. Very much looking forward to your attendance, and congratulations on your mission, and best wishes from Reed College.
I'm so stupid sometimes. I was telling Lonnie that I got into my college summer program thing, and I was all making plans like, you should come visit me, stay in my dorm room. But she said, Sam, I ship out on June 6th. I was like, ship out? To where? She said, to basic training. What did you think I was doing all that ROTC stuff for? I guess she's been planning to join the army right after high school since she was like 12. And I guess she's really going to do it. So I was like, after graduation, I'm just never going to see you again? She said, let's just have fun while we can.
That's so sad. Oh, there's a letter here. Oh, please, let me pick up the letter. Okay. Let's go find some light. There we go. Dear Terrence, thank you for sending along a copy of your newly published book. An author's first published manuscript is a monumentous occasion. I read it this afternoon. I certainly recognized my son in the subject matter. The author's work is externalization of that which he holds dear and that which he fears. And in this respect, I believe your work was successful, but the lens through which the personal shone was needlessly clouded by genre cliches and implausible dime store science fictional Diax Mechana. The great authors speak of their lives, millennia, in clear and honest tones, the lens crystal that refracts their thoughts without distortion. I congratulate you on surviving the great ordeal that is publication, and rest assured that readers of your chosen genre will lap up copies hungrily. But I urge you to shed artifice. You can do better. With a father's love and encouragement, Richard Greenbrier. That's like What an underhanded, like, congratulations. Like, um, Sam. Aw. I used to have one of these when I was a kid that I shared with my friend. I wonder if I still have it. I probably do, somewhere in a box. All these newspapers. Postcard. Hey Sam, I'm writing to you from Multnomah Falls. I'm here on a stupid class trip, which is stupid because it's March and I don't know if anyone running the school has been to Ogra, but it's cold and rainy as shit in March. I wish you were here. Oh wait, you are here because I'm writing this to you in the gift shop. Oh shit. Here you come.
They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that. Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, "You didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl." But I don't think they know about us. The kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group.
Rumors swirled that the sudden sale of pharmacy was transcribed for a song. When asked about speculation, the deal had been signed for as little as $1. I saw that path over there behind the bookshelf, but I want to, I'm gonna come over here first. Oh, whoops, read letter. Samantha, from Yolanda. Dear Sam, today's Spanish lesson. I'm so happy you liked the drawing. I was thinking of us when I drew it. I knew you'd be able to tell. You'd love Mexico, I think, probably. The nature here is totally different than back home. I keep thinking about Allegra and the first mate lost on a mysterious island where even the plants are out to get them. And I think of them together out here in the wilderness together. And I start thinking of you again. I lie here in bed and can almost feel you. I've been trying to save it up for when we were together again. I haven't done a good job, okay? But I tried. Okay, enough about that. Your last letter got to me the day before we started driving back north. We'll be racing this letter home. If I get home first, we can read it together. And yes, I'm taking tons of photos and we'll have to spend so much time in the dark room. Lonnie. These love notes are so cute. Girl Scout, the band formerly known as Cub Scout. Set list.
Todd's band lost their singer. Todd said he sucked. Lonnie said he got sick of Todd's shit, and he was complaining about needing a new singer. So Lonnie was like, "I can sing." And they were all kind of like, "You can?" And she was like, "Probably." But she's been rehearsing with them for like a week now, and I finally got to see them play in Todd's basement today. And she's actually really amazing. I feel so proud when she's on stage. It's incredible being in awe of someone you love. So everybody knows it's like a temporary situation till she ships out in June. But till then, I'm gonna be at every single show.
Aw. Where are we now? I'm getting lost. Oh, this is a whole other area. Fuck. And there was a whole other path here that we didn't go to. This one. Okay. Costume skeletons and devils. Cheerleaders from the Smells Like Teen Spirit video. The Psycho House Girl. The coolest stuff about being the Psycho House Girl. Everybody in the hall thinking you don't know. They're looking at you and whispering as you walk past because I guess they haven't heard of her pet Truler. That's a lie to mom and dad's situation, but it was so worth it. These are parts of the diary, aren't they? Dear Miss Greenbrier, I appreciate the time and effort you put into writing your letter. It showed initiative as well and was well written, but it does not change my mind on this matter. While I understand that Miss DeSoto is a friend of yours, the fact that the matter is that she defaced school property with profanity, the fact that she allegedly defaced her own locker in retaliation for another student doing the same to yours is immaterial. As your complaint that no other student has been punished for their part in this incident, the fact is no guilty party has come forward, and there have been no convincing evidence as to who might have defaced your locker. In other words, there is no one to punish. I would suggest letting this issue drop, as it will only bring more unwanted attention to yourself, which I believe is what you claim began this whole incident in the first place.
I don't get Lonnie sometimes. Like, her band, and our zine, and her hair, and everything are all anti-authority. But I watch her in JROTC, and she's doing drills in perfect formation, following orders, no question. And there's all this stuff in the news about don't ask, don't tell. Like, she's going to join the army and then have to lie about who she is. She said they don't need to know what they don't need to know. Like it was no big deal. This from the girl who trashed her locker to, like, defend my honor. I've learned when to stop arguing, though. I don't think Lonnie even gets Lonnie sometimes.
We found it. We opened the door. What's this? Manicure, perm, color, shampoo set for $119. That's a bargain. I was looking at a haircut today, and like they had the option to add on manicures and stuff, and like it was just so expensive. It's like, fuck, I'll just get my hair cut, maybe. Due to your exemplary management of the Flintlock prescribed burn operation last year, the services needs for experienced personnel to direct regional operations. We would like to offer you the position of Regional Conservation Management Director, responsible for operations throughout northwestern Oregon. Your assistance would be sought to fill your previous position on site at the Flintlock National Forest. Your new posting would be at Regional Management Building, located at 128 Bullhorn Road, which should be much more convenient for your daily commute. Please respond as soon as possible regarding your decision. We will very much look forward to your reply. Open folder. I can't read this. Is there a light? Yes. Call Daniel back. Daniel says he's coming over to get his game back. Okay. The one we threw on the floor? Read note. Hey Lonnie, sorry my mom was such a bitch last night. She was hardly ever around since her forest is like an hour away, and then when she is home, she takes it out on you because you're not a member of the family. She knows you won't call her out on it, and I'm sorry. Haha, it's okay. I know she's just jealous of our cool, freewheeling lifestyles. I feel sorry for you. I'm lucky my mom lives in Florida. You have to have a mom every day. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up the mom thing like that. I know I shouldn't complain. No, I'm being serious. My mom is psycho-Christian, and her new husband, Don, is a complete tool. I'm living in Florida with him. Living with Florida with him is her eternal punishment in my mind. So wouldn't you rather live with your mom in Florida? No! Indworth and Earth, Wind, and Fire. Is this the, Oh, I'm thinking of Fire, Wind, and Wisdom, that song. September. The skull was the coolest thing I found in Mexico, and it was like $3. I love it. Merry Christmas. Yes, treasure it always. You guys, there's so many rooms in this house. This house is enormous. There goes the last of my tea. I've got some water at least. Mom has a lot of purses. Get out of here. Pamphlet. Get out of here. Note. Hi, Jan. I got 2 tickets for EWF on Thursday, but my girlfriend says she doesn't want to go. Her taste in music rears its ugly head again. So that leaves me with an extra ticket, and I thought you might be interested. More fun than clearing brush in the freezing rain, right? Disciplinary referral. Distributing inappropriate materials on school grounds. Phone call to students' parents. Out of school suspension. Did any of y'all ever get suspended from grade school? Sam, since you refused to hear us out this afternoon, your mother and I are putting this in writing so that we are absolutely clear. You are grounded for the rest of the month from social and telephone privileges, and from using your car for any time except going to and from school. We understand that what you are going through, but we can't allow you to continue with this kind of behavior at school. And clearly, one of your privileges, once your privileges are reinstated, we can't allow you to have your bedroom door closed while Lonnie is at the house. This is your last word on the matter. It's the last word on the matter. Get back on course so this won't happen again. I'll let this talk first.
I had an interesting talk with Mom and Dad tonight. One you were never gonna need to have. I mean, you've known, right? I've known. I've known since, like, She-Ra. Mom and Dad didn't, I guess. But they saw the zine and the stuff on the locker, and they were like, is there something we should know about you and Lonnie?
Oh, no.
And so here's the thing. I was prepared for them to be mad, or disappointed, or start crying, or something. But they were just in denial. You're too young to know what you want. You and Lonnie are just good friends. You just haven't met the right boy. It's a phase. That's what I didn't see coming. That they wouldn't even respect me enough to believe me. Well, joke's on them, because they're in for one very long phase.
Knew it was coming, and here we are. I don't even remember what I was about to say. I do remember. I don't feel like not being able to close your door should ever be a punishment for a kid. I think that is like an invasion of their privacy and their humanity. That's something that I don't think makes sense to me. Now I'm just sad. Alright, the sadness tone of the game is rearing its head. Hi, Mom, Dad, and Sam. The vacation is weird. As you can see, the Catholic Church still has a lot of money left over from the Middle Ages. I've gotten to see all of the art, including the Sistine Chapel ceiling and the sculptures by Michelangelo, Donatello, and the rest of the Ninja Turtles. Mom, we'll have to come back together. I would love to be here with someone who really appreciates the history behind everything. Also, Sam, they have various relics in pieces of important dead people, so you should probably come too. Next stop, Barcelona. Calm down, Dad. I won't get gored by a bull, probably. Love, Katie. I understand why Sam left. It's very clear to me now. Like, I knew that was coming. I knew it wasn't gonna go smoothly, especially on the date. Being, like, late 90s. Don't give up on this, honey. Saving some time. Congratulations, Janice Greenbrier, Regional Director. And I say congratulations because, come on, you're gonna take the job, right? What are you waiting for? An engraved invitation? Call them back. But in the meantime, let's discuss this little outing you had with our favorite flannel-clad hunk. What a blast. But you sound like you're reading a lot into an innocent night out. You're sure there's something there? You said he has an out-of-town girlfriend. You sure they're not serious? Okay, we'll have to figure out when we'll see each other next in person. Enough with the letters. I owe you a congratulatory margarita, boss lady. Soon. Love, Carol. We'll switch the overlay text back off. Who knew that my elementary school teachers would be right, that I will need to learn cursive so that I can better play video games. Is this the kitchen? Have we finally found the kitchen? Where are we? Dining room. 2 basement. What's... a cassette tape? Grab milk. Samantha and Danya were in the woods one day. It was sunny and they were in another adventure. But they went to the part of the woods and it got dark. Danny said, "Are you scared?" So Samantha said no. Ooh, this one's rough. This one's rough.
Daniel finally came over to get his game. I'd been dreading it. But he brought this story with him that I wrote when we were little. I started reading it, and then there I was, crying at the kitchen table. He asked what was wrong, and I was thinking about how we used to be friends, how much I'd taken for granted. But instead, I told him about school, and Dad, and Lonnie. And then how sorry I was that I wasn't his friend anymore. He gave me a hug and said it was going to be okay. For some reason, I almost believed him.
Yes. Oh, no. Get on the... whatever. That's fine. We're leaving that open. Let me put the pot in the microwave and then close the microwave. Everything's gone. She took everything. Pizza's empty. Oh my god, I want pizza so badly right now. I have leftovers. Congratulations on your new position. Having received your formal acceptance letter, I write to congratulate you on your new position as Regional Conservation Director of State Forestry Service. We wish you luck in your final weeks at Flintlock National Forest and very much look forward to welcoming you to your new desk in State Forestry Office at 8 a.m. on May 1st. Didn't see that light there first. Did you guys see how I took everything in the freezer and put it on the fridge? Put it in the fridge. Garlic! Thank you so much for the resub. How are you? Is there nothing else to get in here? Maybe not. Don't think so. Not yet. I don't see anything here either. Nope. Ooh, I need light. I need light. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Whew. Have you played this before, Garlic? Dear Greenbrier, first let me say that I hope this missive finds you well. Hell, it feels like a goddamn miracle that it finds you at all. Do you know how long we've been trying to track you down? Worry not. We aren't the feds, the men in black, or any other sort of creeping, fascist hobgoblins. In fact, we're on your side. Let me start from the beginning. Unknown Dimension is what you might call a specialist publishing house. We're terrific in the weird, ahead of its time, and the lost but not forgotten by small but dedicated group of plugged-in bibliophiles, types of out there, mass market, shunning, visionary expression that refuses to be taken on anything but its own terms. You have, yeah, Lou recommended it to you a few years ago. Yeah, I was playing this on Lou's recommendation, got it back on my radar. I had it and I just never really gotten around to it. And I was debating between this one or the demo for Spiritfarer, and this one I can play the whole game, but Spiritfarer I'd have to go and buy the game if I decide that I like it enough to keep playing it, so. And I'd have to probably restart it. So what I'm thinking I might do is play the Spiritfarer demo, an hour of it on my own time, and then if I like it, I'll just buy it and then stream the full game, something like that. We'll see. We've had an unparalleled run since our inception 4 years ago, unearthing and reviving Christ or zombie-like timeless works such as N.N. Bestman's Message of the Snakeman, It's Inside Me. But ever since we discovered the tattered copies of your Accidental series at church rummage sale in Long Branch, New Jersey, we've been trying to track down the author of this weird and dark American outsider art. It's just kind of forgotten, just the kind of forgotten portal into the 20th century civilizations and anxieties. This has been a lot of reading, Garlic. Oh my gosh, this game in general. And with these different fonts, I don't want to put on the overlays because I like seeing the different font styles, but sometimes I stumble over them a little bit. And illusions that our readers lose their minds over. James Bond and Harrison Ford might be the dick-swinging heroes that modern suburban America wants, but John Russell, mild-mannered insurance agent by day, reckless historian, revising sociopath by night, it is the twisted peacekeeper that it deserves. It is our mission to bring him back to life. Okay, so I've typed plenty. What do we want from you? We want your permission to reprint the work. Since your original publisher, Mercury Books, folded a decade ago, we want you to supply a new foreword for the books to appear in a brand new editions of The Accidental Savior and The Accidental Pariah. To be produced by Unknown Dimensions is a limited run and marketed directly to our highly discerning customer base. And we want to offer you a portion of the proceeds, contract to follow, assuming you're interested in coming along with us on this weird odyssey. We look forward to embarking with you and to thrusting your work screaming back into the swinging palms of unsuspecting American public. It's about time. Blast off. Yeah, that font is hard. It's just like everything just kind of blends together a little bit. But again, getting through it. I was saying earlier that like when I first started streaming, I would never play a game like this that had so much reading in it because I'd be too nervous to read on stream. So I think I've come a long way over the last couple months getting more comfortable with it. Anything in this garage that I missed? Nope. I want to go back up this way. And then there was also another... There's a lot of stuff down here that I haven't seen yet. Or at least another path. I love that I'm just leaving everything in chaos around here, too. So, alright, which way am I going? I'm gonna go out the kitchen, I'm gonna take a left, I'm gonna take another left, and then I'm gonna go up. Alright. And there's like a hidden path right about here, it seems. Maybe I can't open it from this side, or is it this? Is it this? Yeah. Man, I would have loved a house like this. Oh, the journals. I didn't realize that. Okay, we haven't gone to either of these paths, I don't think. You're interested to see what I think about this game because I know Mark and Lou really love it and your opinion is different. Okay. So far, it's in line with what I was expecting from my initial load-in of the game. It's dark, it's dreary, it's sad, it's raining, it's, you know, actually dark in the space. We have to go and illuminate everything. And we're unfolding a story that was, like, really cute and happy, so it was, like, getting this, like, rising action, and then we just crashed with finding out that the parents are disapproving of the lifestyle choices. Which, as soon as they started incorporating queerness, I knew that was gonna happen. It just, like, it would have been a surprise if they were, like, happy and accepting. Like, I hoped. Pull handle. Haha. And we have looped back around. And it's really hard to hold this game to the standards of modern storytelling in games, right? Because this was the first. Like, this was one of the first games to do something like this. So, I think I'm going to... Any opinion that I have about this game is going to be with a bit of a grain of salt, because for its time, this was amazing storytelling, narrative. And I don't know where it's going yet. I hear Harvey at the door. I'm gonna let this boy in. Come on in, buddy. Come on. Harvey. Yeah, come on. Come on. The cats have been very chilled the last couple of days. Come here, buddy. Yeah, what a good stretch. Yeah, what a handsome boy. Alright, hopefully he settles and gets comfy. And then I can just roll over when y'all want to see him. Oh, nope, he's down. Let him in! Oh, yeah, God, I love KY's emotes. They're just... I want to make a similar emote of Ellie where it's just, like, actually a cut-out picture. Harvey, you coming... He's coming and sitting under my desk. It's very sweet. What's this? Read note. We've got a new code. Am I not taking this with me? I'm not. Alright, I'm gonna write it down. What was it? 196 3. Harvey. Please do. I've got this this great picture. I wonder if I can, yeah. Double check that there's, well, that kind of doesn't show it. I'll put it in Discord later. I've got this amazing picture. This is like it cropped of Ellie just like screaming, and it's my background. But on this, like when I scroll to the left, it crops the picture. So on like the actual main page, it's her full face, but on the background, let me move that up over there. It's just absolute chaos yelling, and that would be a funny emote. Buddy, what's up? Oh, he meowing. Oh. Also, I think it's really funny that KY can't do cat cam on his stream because Harvey is, like, too unpredictable and won't settle anywhere. But in my stream, like, Harvey's always in the frame. He's just, like, always on my bed. I feel very privileged. Okay. Alright, so I wrote down that combination. Anytime we see a combo lock, we'll just give it a try. And now, we decide where to go. We have the basement key. We don't have the attic key yet. I think we've been in here. I'm fairly sure. And I think we've done all of these. I think we should go back down to the basement, because that's like one of the places that we really haven't actually been to yet. Which feels kind of silly. It seems like this game is doing a really good job of every time they bring me to a new area, there's something to do there. But maybe it was just finding that locker combo. So we did. We came all in here. And I think it was in here that there was this other path that we didn't take. Was it this one? No, I feel like we did this one. Yep, no, we don't want to go to the junk room. Can we read this? Oh no. Man, where was that path? This is how we got in. Is this... Okay, yeah. So we want to go this way. We want to go around. Maybe we were in the right spot and I'm just having trouble remembering it all. Oh, this room. I like it. We read this. We've been all through here. For the most part. Grab a cassette. I get so worried about getting muted. Okay. But also some of them might be like voice messages, so I want to like check them sometimes. Ooh, we've got a combo here. Alright, so let's do 1, 9, 6, 3. Hell yeah. Gotta love when it's the first one you try. Read letter. Return to sender. Whoo, hold on. Dear sister, I write what shall be my last appeal to go unanswered one way or the other. I feel a prisoner as on an island with no jailer, no human soul for commune, only one mind examining itself endlessly, endlessly searching for relief. In the years since transgression, I have sought no absolution, only bare forgiveness. In good faith, I have removed myself from all temptation, sacrificed to prove my commitment, however I can imagine. Since mother's passing, I have yearned for nothing more than acknowledgement of my own kin, to be treated as human again, to breathe air of human spirit once more. By grace, even a wretch like me could be saved, but I do not expect it. If no response is received, I shall henceforth accept my sentence and one day simply cease to be. With a brother's love always, Oscar. Who is this for? Mary. Okay. Oh, it's so dark. Oh, it doesn't work. That looks like a corner. I need a flashlight. I can't see anything. Just click a bunch. Oh god. I've locked us in. Woo! Okay. Just checking that there isn't like another corridor. Okay. Let's see, where should we go next? So we've been down this little hallway. What's up, buddy? You yelling? Wanna lie down? It's okay, bud. I need to get a better filter on my mic so that it weeds out the outside noise from my apartment, but also you can hear Harvey. Isn't he okay, bud? Poor guy. So... McHarvey. Give him a tiny GoPro. Mike Harvey, yeah. Put a little mic on it. That'd be so cute. Oh, what a good boy. That would be funny. Just hook up a little mic to him. I'm not sure where to go next. I hope I didn't miss something somewhere. Something important. I'm sure I did. There's like so many things around to click on. Head back upstairs. So we're in here now. We can go up to the guest room. Here. Man, just getting my bearings. So where's that other... There's another staircase back here. Had enough. Here we go. This is where I think the game was telling me to go next, although then we got that safe in the basement, so I'm not sure. I know there's another locker or another safe combo thing towards the beginning of the game. Still can't get up there. Another cassette. More music. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. We don't need the 7th grade recorder. I'm back in here. Whew. I keep, like, clenching my stomach because I'm having, like, crampy unpleasantness. And it hurts. So... Don't blink like that. It makes me nervous. I want to find that other locker that we missed earlier. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where that was. I think it was over this way. One that we haven't yet opened. Or maybe it was in the library? Ah, here it is. The filing cabinet. This was the first code. I guess we can try this other one. Just like maybe they reuse 1963. Actually, it's the same code. That's the same one that we wrote down. That's really... what a coincidence. Oh. Oh, what? I missed this. Terrence Greenbrier. Hello, Terrence. I write on what I imagine must be a joyous occasion. News reaches me that you are newly married to a wonderful young woman, and I have had more than a little time during my long days and nights at the house on Arbor Hill to consider my past and my family, and my thoughts have often lingered on your development and welfare in 10 years since we last met. Your marriage gives me much reassurance in this regard. I wish you and your new bride many happy years together. You are always welcome on Arbor Hill, though I will understand, of course, if you feel you cannot accept this invitation. Yours very sincerely, Oscar Mason. I did read these. And I couldn't pick this up, surprisingly. I keep thinking that that's like a hidden wall there with the pen. Is there anything here that could be another code? I hope there was nothing else in the safe that I missed. I swear to God, if one of these books comes out and it does something, I will, I will wonder about the nature of the rest of the game. It's the secret panel, it's the porn. The other secret panel. Oh, what's this? I'm gonna write this number down too. I haven't seen anything that's just 4 numbers, but 0451. Read notes. The occasional summertime, unreliable, save your hero. A year on the mountain, come down from the mountain. Accidental prophet? Oh. I didn't even notice this before. Was that there? Was that always there? Can I go to options in language and turn off the overlay text? And then click on this. No, now it's gone. What? It should. I feel like that overlay option should always be there, and you can like switch which one's your default. That would be really nice. But that's okay. Yeah, we found all these secret panels. I'm hoping there aren't going to be too many things that are hidden like this, where I have to like crouch down to find them. Walt Whitman. Let's check the safe again in the basement. Whew. Alright, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go down to the basement. Which I think the fastest way is actually through here, isn't it? Man, I would have killed for secret pathways like this in the house that I grew up in. Maybe I went the wrong way. Maybe I should have gone up and around. Yeah, whatever. I can walk around. Maybe I'll see something that I missed. Oh, this one is only 4. Okay. 0, 4, 5. Oh, oops. This way is faster. 5, 1. Yeah, we did it. Dear Mason, please find enclosed your original document and typed copy for your records. The notarized copy has been filed at our offices. Thank you for entrusting our firm with this important matter. Sincerely, Jeffrey Wise. I, Oscar Mason, processing full competence of mind and memory after a full survey of valued items to my name, I hereby declare this document my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. I, 1, declare that I am a lifelong resident of Boone County and that I am unmarried and have no children. 2, I declare that I have no outstanding debts to my name to any creditors living or dead. 3, I hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres located at Arbor Hill, as well as and all personal property and moneyed accounts to my nephew, Terrence Greenbrier Jr. of Ellis County. In the event that said Terrence Greenbrier Jr. should precede me, and in such event, the bequest to him shall fall in the same bequeath to his children as ordered by age and competence as stewards of the estate. I subscribe my name to this will and this 13 days of August 1973. Ooh. I, Oscar Mason, processing full competence of mind memory, after a full survey of valued items to my name, do hereby declare that this my last will and testament. The following shall hold true upon my passing. I declare lifelong resident, no outstanding debts, yada yada. 3, I hereby bequeath every item of value of which I may die possessed, including the dwelling and surrounding acres. Okay, so it's just a typed up version. Interesting, alright. Nothing else there for us. Hidden whiskey. It's hard to tell if, like, I've opened all the drawers and stuff sometimes. Let's go down to the basement. I should have gone the other way, but that's alright. We're experimenting. So many pizza boxes! Not that way. This way. Caitlin, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Are we trying to find our sister? I assume yes. Trying to piece together where she went. I want to make sure we didn't miss anything in here. What is this? Solution of morphine? Lots of morphine. I read this letter. Man, got some syringes in here. It's not weird. What's up, Harvey? You want to leave? You want to leave already? You just got here. What am I missing? What am I not getting? Intends to reside permanently in the United States and has compiled the applicable provisions of such naturalization laws. Was entitled to be admitted to citizenship upon thereupon ordered as such person, yada yada. Elizabeth Greenbrier. Mom's citizen stuff. A letter from Granddad. It has been a hot minute since we've gotten a story update. Poor Harvey, he's whining. He's whining. I'm gonna hold you up. Come here. Harvey. Here he is. Look at this boy. Look at how long his whiskers are. He has like the longest whiskers I've ever seen on a cat. Like, they're just, he has so many whiskers. Good boy. Ugh. He's like, I hate this. Please put me down. You wanted to be in here, buddy. You came over, you were yelling at me. Do you see, he's like falling over. Like, he just will put all of his gravity into one direction and just limp. Just goes completely limp. Oh, come on, buddy. I'm sorry. Alright, you can go. You're a good boy. Hippie, you heard him. Whiskers are supposed to be as wide as a cat so they can feel and fit through a space. Yeah, his are definitely wider though. They're definitely wider than his shoulders. Absolutely, yeah. He actually will get whisker fatigue. Let me switch back over to the game. It'll take a second to load back in, but it'll do it in a second. There we go. He'll get whisker fatigue from his bowl. We had to get him like a special bowl. Alright, bud, I'll let you out. I'll be right back. Let the kitty out. And now he's hiding under the bed. But the door is cracked, so he can come and go as he pleases. So, I'm a little bit stuck. Have you played this before, Board? If anyone in chat has a gentle nudge into what direction I should move towards next, that would be...
It's different now. I mean, we still hang out all the time like before. But now when no one else is around... Well, you know. So you could say we're dating. But it's secret. Secret dating? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the real difference. Now when we get off the phone, or go home for the night, or it's just quiet and we're alone, we say I love you.
Oh, oh, that's so cute. I can't believe I missed that before. I guess it was really hidden. Like, you come by here, or you click on this, you turn, you walk back that way, you don't even see it. What do we get? We got a 3? We got a 4? A 5. I wonder if that's random, actually. You've not. We're in this together. Read letter? Do we see this one? Samantha, please give this to your mother. Janice, thank you for having Danny over to your new house. He has missed having his friend Samantha in the neighborhood very much. Danny asked if he could lend Samantha his Nintendo Street Fighting tape, and I gave him my permission. He needs to spend less time on those games anyway. No hurry returning it. Let Samantha know that she is welcome back at our house anytime to visit. Sincerely, Mary.
When you live in one place your whole life, your next door neighbor is kind of like your default friend. And Daniel only got weirder over the years. So moving away has been a good excuse to, like, not see him anymore. But he did always have the good Nintendo games. Maybe I'll give him a call.
Oh, I like this.
Somehow I always knew that someday.
That's cool. We definitely read that. Sometimes I get so confused as to where I even am. Oh yeah, this was one of the first areas we went to. We read this. I read that. I didn't realize the door opened the other way. Let's keep going. What have I missed? What is next? The attic. We don't know how to get into the attic yet. If I was an attic key, where would I hide? Yeah, we definitely read that. Gets. Check the kitchen again. I almost feel bad about leaving. It did like make me go ugh, with the fridge being open like that. Man, everything is just disheveled everywhere. There's another phone somewhere that's off the hook. Probably. Got the garage. Do we see this one? I don't think we saw this one. Your mother and I will be away for the long weekend celebrating our anniversary June 3rd through the 7th. So that's why they're not here. Okay. We will be camping in Gorge, but we will give you a call on the way home. Sorry, the kitchen is mid-renovation. Never trust a contractor. $40 is on the table to order pizza while we're gone. Be good, Dad. Crumpled up note. Lonnie, my parents are leaving town, so we'll have the run of the house till you leave. Imagine actually spending the night in my room instead of sneaking to our usual spot in the attic. Not that the attic doesn't have its musty allure, but my bedroom is warmer. Sam, we should defile your parents' bed while they're gone. That'll show 'em. Lonnie, you are gross. Never change. Sam. How do I get into this attic? How do I get up there? Are they up there now? Can I knock? Grab hat. Maybe they are here now. But journal.
I asked Lonnie what she had to do to get ready to ship out for basic training. She said, not a lot, really. You're not allowed to bring anything with you. You have no possessions, no contact with the outside world while you're in basic. You just train hard every day, and then you deploy from there. So, they'll just send her away. To who knows where. The other side of the country, the other side of the world. My mind, can't process it. That she's really going to be gone. Just gone.
Schedule. That'd be so difficult to have your partner leave like that. That'd be so hard. I don't know what I'd do. I'd be unhappy. I don't know if I could sustain a relationship like that. A lot of people do, obviously, and power to them, but oh my gosh. That would be really tough. Alright, so we're getting more clues. We want to get up into the attic. But I need to figure out how. Where would it be? Where be? Okay. The garage was very clearly an important spot for attic-y stuff. RV, buddy. He left and came back, and now he's meowing again. What an unsatisfied cat. Are you just lonely, buddy? Whenever KY leaves for work, he, like, runs around the house and yells for about 20 minutes. Have we not been in here? Did we miss a whole room? I think we did. This might be the answer we seek. Read note. Sam, I wish I knew how to explain it better. The army is the thing I grew up with. It's part of me. My dad's army friends are like family. I've always known it was where I'd end up, but I never thought of it any other way. I wish things could be different. Maybe someday, when I've settled at the base, and you're done with college, and you're a famous writer, and I can rebuild the tank engine with my eyes closed, things will be different, and we can be together. Until then. Just gotta make sure you touch every object. Alright, now this is cool. This little greenhouse. Is there any other light? I don't think so. Read letter. Let's go to the text. Dear Kaz, I can't tell you what a joy it is to see John Russell back in print. Thank you so much for sending along copies of the new editions. The cover art is really something. I know you've said that Unknown Dimensions isn't in the business of printing new material, but this revived interest in my work has brought on a wave of inspiration, resulting in a manuscript that completes John Russell's journey, which I think you may find intriguing. It is reflective and introspective without forgetting the excitement and weirdness that unknown dimension readers expect. I hope this might be an exciting new direction for Unknown Dimension to pursue. At the very least, I am grateful that John Russell's adventures didn't come to an end quite when I thought they had. Thanks and regards, Terrence. It's been almost 20 years since John Russell heard the call. Twice he saved a president's life. He practically forgotten the days of the future, of danger and excitement, the days where he mattered. So when that familiar rip in time opens in front of him and his handlers peer out, he doesn't hesitate. Is the president in danger? No. The life you save this time will be your own. Where we'll do it. Secret door. Under stairs. Midnight, June 5th. The final preparations are complete.
We agreed
Haha.
our last night together would be our happiest ever. And we'd forget tomorrow was going to come at all. It worked for a while. We had a good time seeing Oscar off. Then ran up to the attic to look through our photos. To find one for Lonnie to take with her. And looking at them, I realized they were all in the past. And there wouldn't be any more. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I cried. And she held me. She said she knew it was hard, but life would move on. I said I didn't want my life to keep moving without her. That's when she cried too. I was so exhausted. I must have fallen asleep like that, in her arms. In the morning, I woke up, and I was finally alone.
Dang. I thought I saw something move, and I was not ready for a spooky story. There it is. Oh, what? Attic key! Heck yeah. The food pyramid, what?
The sunset light in this house is the saddest thing I've ever seen. I just want to sleep. When I'm in the attic, it almost feels like Lonnie could still be here. She's just downstairs. I'm just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch and come running up. Maybe I'll go up to the attic and wait.
I don't think anyone's gonna be there, but we're gonna go. Let's check this out. I don't know how long this game is either. Also, I like started going up the stairs and then I stopped moving because I was like, oh, it's gonna load in. But actually, like, there haven't been really any loading screens in this game, and I like that a lot. It's cool. Oh, spooky. Up we go. Hello? Hello? Excuse me. Stay strong. Sam, I'll always remember what we had. Kick ass. I love you. Lonnie.
Oh my god. Katie. I fell asleep in the attic, in Lonnie and my old spot, and I missed the first 2 calls. I just barely caught the third one before the machine got it. And it was Lonnie, on a payphone. She'd been on the bus to Basic, and she said she couldn't think of anything but me and us, and that she couldn't go through with it, with the army and being apart and all of it. And so she got off the bus in Salem. She said, Sam, I want you to pack up everything you can and get in your car and come find me. And let's just drive until we find somewhere for us. And she asked me if I could do that. And I said yes. Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. Letters to Katie.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back, that you'll understand why I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again, someday. Love, Sam.
Aw. Well, that... Damn. Oh, I skipped the credits. Alright, well, that's fine. And now it's so eerily quiet now. What happens if I resume? Does it just go back to... It would just repeat this. That's fine. Sure, let's just go through it again. I like to run through the credits.
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself.
What a cute game. It was nice and short.
And you think back.
Only 3 hours? It's not so bad.
I had to do what I did. And that you won't be sad.
I like a good, concise game.
And you'll just know that I am where I need to be.
I think the game did a really good job of leading us around.
I'll see you again.
I was only lost like once or twice.
Love, Sam.
And I don't know if this is licensed music or music for this game. That's my only concern, is the music.
So I'll do it first so you won't see me. Laugh it off and I don't feel it. Hard as rocks and nails underneath.
For a second, I thought it was the same name for both characters.
Want to go.
Okay, I'm actually a little worried about getting muted, but that's fine. Okay, I do want to talk about the game a little bit. I want to Google when this came out. I want to check. Gone Home game. This came out in 2013. 2013 games. I want to see what other games came out around the same time. This game came out the same year as The Last of Us, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, Beyond Two Souls, BioShock Infinite. Wow, really? Outlast? I'm checking specifically for kind of narrative games. The Wolf Among Us. Okay, so maybe this game wasn't quite as ahead of its time as I thought it was. Walking Dead Season 2. Okay, so this, I really enjoyed it. I thought this game was very good. I think it was also very predictable. And when compared against those other narrative games that came out around the same time, I don't know if it was quite as revolutionary as I thought it was. I thought this game was older, to be honest. I didn't realize, like, I mean, it's old compared to now, but compared to other games around this time, it's, I wouldn't say it was, like, really, maybe a little bit. What am I trying to say? What am I thinking? It was just predictable. I had a hunch that they were running off together and, or that something bad would have happened with the parents regarding her being a lesbian. Hey, buddy. You didn't have any issues with it at all. You just thought it was overall a little boring. Yeah, like I thought it was interesting. Like I was curious about what was happening, but I didn't feel like it really built up too much. What I also thought was kind of weird was that there was nothing about the relationship between our character and her sister. Like there was nothing that really crossed over between the two of them, which seemed kind of strange. Like, we're in this house that she grew up in, right? But I didn't see any evidence of her. Unless this was, like, because I'm pretty sure this was Sam's house. Sam and Kate's house. So there was nothing about their story as siblings. They moved while she was away in college. Okay. Got it. So your character's never... Oh, got it. Okay. I think I just missed that. I liked that there was some narration from the sister's diary, but I also wish that there was more of it. It was a lot of reading. This game was mostly reading. Which, I mean, this is borderline a text adventure. I liked finding the little cubbies and stuff where you had to kind of loop around so you could get back out to those secret entrances and the locked rooms and all that. I don't know. I wasn't floored with it. I didn't think it was bad. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Garlic. I'm kind of in the middle on it. You just felt the same way you did before playing as you did after playing. I didn't feel impacted at all. I feel the same way. I'm like, okay. A story about sister growing up, falling in love, and running away together. The not quite being accepted by family, but not having it really impactful in any way. Just kind of regular teenager stuff, honestly. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't as revolutionary as I thought it would be. The way I had heard a lot of people talking about it, I was expecting something more, something that better showed how it changed the genre, how narrative games became such a strong staple in indie gaming. And I can see how this game would definitely push the genre towards more content like this, like the Life is Strange games. But I agree. Yeah. Just kind of maybe a little boring. The art was fine. It didn't surprise me. I thought it was older, so every time I was like, oh no, this runs pretty well. It was fine for its time. Same with the load times. Like, I liked that it was all one space, and when it loaded in a new area, you didn't notice. I'm working on putting together a new rating system for my channel. You were hyped. It was very hyped up, and you were like, that's it? No hate on it, but yeah, just kind of okay. I completely agree. But I'm working on a rating system, and I thought of the idea, and then I haven't brought it to fruition beyond that. But I want to start rating games when I complete them on stream, and I don't know if it'll be something that I rate like right on the spot, or if I'm just gonna kind of like compile my notes and then put them together after the fact. But I like the idea of coming together and being like, this was a 5 out of 10 burbs. GG. Thank you, Orc. You're so late. Yeah, I just finished it. Yeah, it would be fun to keep a tally. Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know. I really like breaking down each different aspect of the game and just talking about it and doing little reviews. I don't know. I just like reviewing stuff. I think I said in one of my last streams, I'm like, I have feelings and I want them to be heard. So, yep. Yeah, that's really all I got for this one. There isn't even really other things that I can think of to talk about. I don't know. There was all of that stuff about the dad and his writing and getting published, and then that didn't really, like, I mean, it came to a resolution where, like, oh, he's writing again, and that's happy. But again, I just didn't feel moved by it. It wasn't substantial in any way. So, is what it is. Whatever. I think I'm gonna take a dinner break. Have some food. Been going for 3 hours. Glad to feel that way. Feel the way I do, because after Lou and Mark were like, this is one of my favorite games. You're like, really? Why? Yeah. I mean, everybody's got, like, their games, right? Like, there's some games that I absolutely adore that I know a lot of people just don't. So there are those games for everybody. This one just seems like it was very well received by a lot of people, but that doesn't always make it great for everybody. Yeah, totally. Cool. Well, I am curious. Let me pull up. I probably should have pulled up Facecam earlier, but whatever. I'm gonna exit the game for a moment. I have a few things on my list of other games that I want to play on stream. And I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do next. I've got the Spiritfarer demo. I've got Kentucky Route Zero. I've got Dear Esther, which is a similar kind of staple in indie gaming that I just totally missed. Pyre I never finished. Stardew Valley has been on my list for ages. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably post in Discord and be like, what do you want to see next? I also got a whole bunch of games in that Palestine bundle. So I think tomorrow, my plan tomorrow is at some point in the early afternoon, I'm gonna stream for a couple of hours and I'll play 30 minutes of like 5 or 6 different games, and we'll just like play a few, and if one sticks then I'll stick with it. But I have a feeling that I'm gonna be demoing a handful of these and not finishing them. Just checking them out, right? See what's cool. Glad you could catch part of my stream. Hope I enjoyed dinner. Thank you very much. Same to you. Have a good rest of your night.